everybody, welcome to season 3 of What's IGN Crashing On. I'm Karen Walby-Solomon and I'm your host. And we're here to talk about what's hot in pop culture.
I thought it was cute at first. Your obsession with me. I'm not obsessed with you. You just don't understand the truth.
Then tell me the truth.
I'm talking to you, Blaze.
A new day, a new term.
It's out with the old and in with the new. You guys are such goals.
Look who's back. Bigile Bele.
3 weeks, and she still hasn't said anything to me.
Fix, tell me what she did. You guys were fine, and all of a sudden everything is messed up.
You turned Bigile's whole life upside down. Try and imagine what she's feeling. You almost ran me over with your bike this morning.
I was just trying to get your attention, and I guess it worked. We have class.
All we need is another new kid at school.
Infatuated with the things you do.
Last time I trusted the wrong people.
I'm as open as they come.
Everybody's got secrets.
I feel like you're hiding something.
You think I'm cheating on you?
If you're struggling with money, there's other ways.
I have my reasons. I feel like I don't know who I am anymore.
We're close to something. We just need to connect the dots.
If Puma was trapping, somebody paid for her. Somewhere that money left tracks.
For now I'll hide it. You get me so excited.
If you thought something you believed was a lie,
I gotta hide it.
do you want to know the truth?
My love is so
There's no going back. You know that, right?
Do you want to know the truth?
How could you be a part of this?
The truth.
These are dangerous people that you are messing with.
Do you want to know the truth?
17 years. And that could finally be over.
That was the trailer of Blood and Water Season 2. Later in the episode, we have interviews with the cast. It was really exciting. I love Blood and Water. It's one of my favorite South African shows, and I basically love everything with teens. But yeah, so we had a great chat with them. But before we get to that, I am here. It's episode 6, and I'm here with my good friend Leanne. Leanne, how are you doing today?
What is up? I'm good. It's Sunday. My sinuses are killing me, but we're here. We're doing good things. How are you? How was your week?
Same. My week was good. I I was just before we got on the call, I was just laughing because I've been I'm not the biggest Elon Musk fan, and him and Grimes broke up, but I wasn't laughing at because they broke up. I was laughing at the responses. So I was on TikTok and this girl was talking about it, one of those guys, this news just broke, and she's like, Grimes and Elon Musk have broken up, and then she's like, and now baby suggested password. She called the baby and I couldn't stop laughing. And she was just talking about how the baby is gonna have to spend 1 week in space with Elon, and one week in whatever egg Grimes lives in.
Lives in Egg Palace. I did see that TikTok. It was hilarious. Also, did you see Twitter roasting Elon's accent? Grams, give back my dad's emerald. Apartheid emerald.
But the way they spell it also, I've never seen this African accent phonetically spelled like that, man.
Yes. I was
oh my
we don't sound
gosh.
like that, do we? So embarrassing. Yes, sis. No, guys.
And I also didn't
stop
know
it.
that people knew our accent well enough to be able to spell it out phonetically like that. I've seen them do it to British people, and it's funny,
Yeah.
but oh my gosh, I was dying. And also, what is it gonna say now? Ah, Elon Grimes. Um,
South
ah,
African apartheid emerald.
oh, and
Nazis.
Azalea Banks when she called him when she did you see that? Did you see this? So she
Okay,
shares.
tell me in because I saw Azalea Banks pop up in like all the tweets, and I was like, I don't know enough about the story to know why she's relevant
Okay. So
in this
she
narrative.
and Grimes were supposed to do some like song together, something like that. And then there was a weird story where she was locked in their basement or like she was in their house for a long
Sorry?
time. It's something like that.
Okay.
And then people were like, what happened there? And then she just never spoke about it. And then when the news broke that they were getting a divorce or breaking up because they don't think they're married, she shared it to her story on Instagram and she said, "Now that you and apartheid Clyde is over, can we make our music?"
Apartheid
Apartheid
cried.
Clyde.
No, guys.
Oh my gosh. It was one of the funniest breakup reactions I've seen in so long. Um,
Yeah, the reactions have been
like
insane.
shame, poor
But
baby
she's still
suggested
living.
pause.
It's like one of those things where now that they've broken up, do you think Grimes will like rename the kid something normal or
I mean, I don't think Grimes is very normal herself. So I think she would keep the name. I think that name was partly her idea as well. Um
yeah?
and it was more him trying to be hip and cool. Because I think his other children's names are like Jack and John, like normal names. And
Normal.
I think it's more like him trying to be cool with the kids. Um but I remember the first time that they like made because there was rumors of them dating, and they made
Mm-hmm.
like their first walk as a red like on the red carpet as a couple at like the Met Gala in 2018. And I mean,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I enjoyed Grimes' music. I'm not like a stan or anything like that, and I was so disappointed. And I was like, "Damn girl, why?" And then she came back this year without him, and I was like, "Oh, please let this be a good sign," because he seems like the type that doesn't that doesn't like what's the word I'm looking for? Doesn't like if there's an opportunity for attention, he would take it. So if you hadn't,
Yes, he's not going to
so
let anybody else shine. It's his spotlight and his
yeah,
spotlight alone. And I
so
mean, she
if
looked gorgeous at this year's Met Gala, sword and all.
yeah, she looks so cool. Um, I don't know what the story behind the outfit is. Also, did you see the story behind ASAP Rocky's outfit? I saw this on Twitter yesterday.
Okay, yes. I'm in love with the story because someone, okay, so for
Okay,
those of you
let
who
me tell.
don't know, there was
Yeah.
an Instagram post where a lady was like, her grandmother had knitted this blanket and it ended up being donated to a thrift store. And she knows that the designer who created ASAP Rocky and Rihanna's look lives in that neighborhood or works in that neighborhood and had written about the fact that they had found this piece and decided to use it as part of the Met Gala outfit. And she basically asked the mom to go find a picture, and it's literally bedding that her grandmother had knitted like 60 odd years ago. And then ASAP Rocky is like wearing it at the Met Gala.
Mm,
And I love it because I feel like, yes, do the things, thrift,
mm,
do just. It also kind of felt like it fitted in with the theme because it was all
yeah.
about like American life. And so it's the fact that it is actually also, I'm a strong proponent for blanket scarves and anything that keeps you cozy. So any excuse to be out of the house in my blanket, I'm like, if he can do it, so can I.
I saw so many people were doing like their versions of it, them in blankets. It was cute. Uh, um, but like also on with the whole like red carpet thing, it was the Emmys on Monday. I love the Emmys. I think
Yes.
it's probably my favorite award show. Um, and it
Thoughts
was
on this year's winners?
yeah, I'll tell you some now. But I it was very like hectic for me because I always used to watch it with my sister. And so I like I you like oh and I postponed watching it like the whole time. Like I watch clips on YouTube, but I like okay. And then Friday night I
You didn't
sat
want to
down
sit
and I
down.
watched the whole show. And like I
Mhm.
enjoyed it. I love the show so much. Because I just love TV, and I like that they always get to have more fun with it than you can do it like the Oscars and that kind of thing.
Mhm.
Um and Cedric the Entertainer hosted. And he did this, but I'm sure you must have seen it, like it was everywhere. We
With
had all
his
his
wives.
TV, his TV
Yes.
wives, and I loved the Steve Harvey show. Like I don't know why I love the show so much, but like I adored that show, and the fact that his wife from there was on Lovita, and she's like, and
She
her
was
voice
the
is
best
still.
wife, though.
I didn't watch the other
I
show,
gave
so
you the name Seti.
yeah,
All these people call
like
you Seti. That's
Sadie,
because of me.
Sadie, and then he also went with Sadie, Sadie. Was so cute. Yeah, no, that was a lot of fun. So the winners of the night, most of the awards were won by like the comedy awards were like Ted Lasso and Hacks,
Mhm.
and then the drama awards like 90 or I think 100% were won by The Crown, and then
Mhm.
the the limited series award, the best limited series was The Queen's Gambit. Best actor was Ewan McGregor in Halston, and then best actress and best actress in the supporting and sporting, and the two sportings were Mayor of Easttown,
Mayor of Easttown.
and
Yeah.
then directing went to Queen's Gambit, and writing went to I May Destroy You. Um, there was a lot of people saying there was like so many people of color nominated, but like no people
Once
of color won
again,
any acting awards. I really like The Crown a lot. I don't think they should have won as much as they did, though. Um, my personal opinion. Um, so I think
I
that
feel
that
like
mm,
I feel like The Crown is one of those things where, I mean, controversial opinion, it's like the Meryl Streep of awards now. It's kind of like the easy way out. Like, oh, it's just a given that if it's nominated, it's going to get there, if that makes sense. Like
mm,
it's a golden child, so people aren't looking beyond for other stuff. And it is a really well done show. But yeah, I feel like people aren't giving other things time to shine, if
yeah,
that makes
I
sense.
think that if Succession had a season that was nominated at the same time, I think they would have given The Crown a bit of a run for its money.
So maybe
But
next year.
yeah, no, but next year there'll be no Crown, but there will be Succession. So it's like it also work like so
New
the next
season of The Crown?
to November 2022.
Oh wow, it's still far away.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it's like like hopefully it works in that sort of cycle, but it is sort of like a Game of Thrones thing, like oh, it wins everything. Um, and yeah, I don't think some of those people deserve to win, but okay. But the was very very good. Um, obviously I'm 100% here for Ted Lasso. I'm not even gonna show my bias. I just want them to win everything. I love them so much. I haven't seen X. I saw it on Mnet now, but I don't want to watch it because I heard it's about Joan Rivers, and I love Joan Rivers. Um, so yeah, I'm good. Like, and I love Jean Smart, so I'm glad she won. Um, yeah, but talking about like The Crown. So yesterday Netflix had their TUDUM event, and people were like, "Why is it called TUDUM?"
Dum,
But the sound it makes,
because of the Netflix
yeah,
sound. Yeah.
TUDUM, yeah.
Dum.
And it was wild because like I caught some of it, and it's weird because the part I caught is about the shows I don't watch, and and like I got the
Yeah.
in part. It was all about The Witcher, and I'm like, they're like, "Oh my gosh,
Wait,
we're
have
gonna
you
have."
not seen have you not seen The Witcher?
No,
Pause.
haven't seen The
Oh.
Witcher. And I was like, I
Oh.
think I've seen like a little bit of episode one, and then I haven't gone back to it. But yeah, I was just
I
like, okay,
was I was skeptical about The Witcher because I was like, ugh, okay, fine. Then I started watching it and it's really, really, really good. Like the way the story is told and the timelines and the characters are, it's well done. So I mean, I have to rewatch it because I've forgotten most of the plot.
mm,
So I can catch up ahead of season two's release. But yeah, like I would, if you have time, add it to your TV schedule. I know you
yeah,
have a roster. fit it in. It's worth it.
I was actually thinking, I was like, when am I ever gonna have time to watch this show? So I do really want to watch it. Yeah, but I obviously like nothing compared to the Bridgerton news for me. Like I am
Okay,
so
that
excited.
scene. I know, but when is it? When is it releasing? I know.
They never said.
I read this stuff, but I'm very bad at paying attention to
No, they
dates.
didn't say
Okay.
when it's coming out, so we don't know. Um, yeah, but like,
Okay.
so Kate and Anthony are my favorite Bridgerton couple. Like, I like all of the others, but everyone is like, oh, Simon and Daphne. I'm like, meh, throw them away. Kate and Anthony are my favorite. And I am so excited to see them in their life because even that scene just kind of like had
Yeah,
their
that scene was
energy.
legit. Yeah.
And oh, like I've read that book so many. I even this morning when I woke up, I was reading parts, my favorite parts of the books again, just because, just make that book specifically, just because I love it so much. Um, but yeah, so the scene of them when they like, it's like just a scene of there, and that's kind of their vibe. Like they fight all
Yes.
the time, and if you thought that Anthony was chauvinistic and a bit of a dick in season one, so does Kate, and she lets him know that, and it's so brilliant. Like like Leanne, you're gonna. I don't know if you've read the book. Actually, I'm gonna talk
I
to you
have
like,
not read the
okay,
book, but give me
but
a ship where it's about a woman calling a man on his
yeah, no, I
bullshit.
was like,
Like,
for
that's
somebody who
what I
likes
want.
Pride and Prejudice, you're gonna love this. You are gonna love
Yeah, it
this.
had very strong Pride and Prejudice energy. The small clip I
Yeah,
saw.
you're gonna love this one. So that was always a big one for me. I didn't watch a Stranger Things one. I don't know. I'm just like very not into Stranger Things anymore. Like I think I'll
I
probably still
feel
watch it, but I don't
I'll
care.
watch it when it comes out because I know my husband's gonna want to watch it, and once you start, you'll get into it, and
Mm,
then we'll finish it in a day. But I'm also like, I don't see why it ended perfectly well. Like they wrapped it up, it had a bow, I
mm.
felt like they brought conclusion to everything, and the fact that they're bringing it back feels like the sequel we don't need. Um, and so for me, I'm just like, yeah, I'm also a bit up and down on how much I'm going to love where they take it.
And the children look like 40 now. Like what?
Yeah, I saw the kid in what well, kid. I saw one of the young actors in a different thing, and I was like, he's an adult. Like, how am I supposed to go back to Stranger Things and pretend he's like 16 or whatever? It's not going to work. So, yeah,
But I am quite excited for the second Enola Holmes film because I like those little kid
I
detectives.
enjoyed Enola Holmes.
And also
I
this.
like anything that comes with a slightly different angle to a story,
Mm.
because it feels fresh and different and not just rehashing
Also, there's a
tried and
weird kind of
tested stuff.
sexual tension between her. I don't know if it's inappropriate to say between her and the boy in that movie. Because even when they were chatting, like at the TUDUM, they like it was her like sort of like interviewing him, and like he was like on a screen, and I got like weird, like maybe it's just chemistry, and I was just like, okay, y'all cute. These kids are cute.
They had mad chemistry in the first
Mm.
season movie. So I'm yes, I'm here to see that if it's going to be playing out some more in the second one.
So, is there anything else from like upcoming on Netflix that you're excited for?
Um, I think just the norm, like not actually. I'm interested in Cowboy Bebop. I know very little about it, so I know it's based on anime, but I'm super keen to see what they do with it because I'm not really into anime. I know I'm yeah, and so I'm keen to see their adaptation or what they do with that because yeah, not interested in the Don't Look Up.
Oh,
It's not intriguing me at all. I don't know if they've just made very poor teasing choices for the two because they released like the teaser trailer and then they released a short clip. But I was like, I don't. The cast is a lot, and I feel like it's doing a lot, but I don't know that I want to watch it.
I actually really like those kind of movies. So I'm quite excited, and I quite like his movies as well. And even and like I don't know, I just like his approach to current like to current affairs, and the way his dialogue just just works. And also maybe it's his directing style, but I don't know. I know a lot of people don't like it, but for me, he does it for me, and I'm quite interested in watching it. But I mean, you know, we see how it goes. But talking about Netflix, our Netflix gem, Blood and Water, season 2 started last week Friday, and like I love the show. It's wild, man. Like, like
I haven't started season 2 yet. I'm waiting to binge it. So like today, this afternoon, I'm going to binge all of it together,
but
and then we'll talk about it.
yeah, but no, but it's no spoilers. Or if listeners also have not seen it, like Leanne, but like it's really fun. It's interesting. It's what you expect from Blood and Water, and the cast is great. And you can also see that I can't really remember with season 1, but like with season 2, you can see they're like legit friends. Like, you know, they have that sort of energy between them. They work well with each other, and like this great new actor, a lot of older actors that we know from when we were younger, playing teachers and parents, and like that have been brought in, and
Oh wow.
it's so well done. What is the other thing I wanted to say? But like I spoke to them about like I asked Dillon, who plays Wade. I asked him about like whether he improvises, because in this one scene he's like, "Oh, you just," but it just like came from like his heart, man. He's like, "I'm tired pulling. I'm tired of having to go through all this stuff, and you like dragging me into nonsense." And when I interviewed them, both Amma, who plays Peleng, and Dylan, they said their favorite scene was like these scenes that they shot in Lavender Hill. So now, obviously, and you know, I live like around the corner from Lavender Hill, and I know the community very well. So for me, I was like, ah. And then they were saying like when they filmed, everyone came out of their houses to come watch, and I was like, that is so legit.
Sounds about right.
And I was telling my mom, because my mom used to teach in Lavender for like 20 years, and she's like, 100. That's exactly what they would have done. She's like, it's most exciting.
It's
Like
those news stories where you see people walk past the camera in the background, like, and wave awkwardly. That's what you expect.
Yeah, it's fun. Like, oh my gosh. I love this, like the sense of community. Like, you know, this one is going to tell this one that, oh my gosh, the camera crew, let's go out. But yeah, so season 2 is great. Yeah, I don't want to tell you guys anything more what happened in the interview. You can listen. But thanks guys so much. Here's our chat with the cast of Blood and Water. Hi guys, how are you doing?
Hello, it's good in yourself?
Oh, good. Okay, so let's get started. Amma, Peleng has had a tough time this season. So what do you think motivates her during season 2?
I think it's just knowing why she's doing what she's doing. I think there's a purpose. She's not just doing it for the fun of it. I think there's a deeper purpose. It's her family's life. It's, you know, keeping her family together, and ultimately discovering the truth about who her sister is. So I think that is always at the back of her mind. And that is honestly the only thing that pushes her to, you know, push as hard as she does, and like, you know, put herself in danger the way she does.
So Dillon, I want to ask you, like, how much of your dialogue is improvised? Because like when you said, "Are you just?" it came like from your soul. Like I was like, this guy is feeling it. This is not just
A lot of my dialogue is improvised, but it's all within the boundaries that the directors have given me and said that I made. Because definitely in season 2, I think not only for Wei, but for all the other characters as well, we get to see a lot of their culture, and what comes with culture is slang and your dialect use. And I was privileged to be able to use that slang that they asked me if Wade would use this and if Wade would use that and how I would say it. And because like if I take the line specifically, oh, you just the line was in the script, but they asked me how I would say it and my demeanor and my tone and they gave me that. But then there's several other lines from different scenes that's also part of the culture that they said, okay, just go for it. Whatever you feel in the moment, go with it. So, and they kept, I think, almost every single improvised moment that I have in
there. So Thabang, last season you got to work with Nasty C, and like now with Youngster CPT. Which rapper would you like to work with next?
I really don't have anyone in mind right now. Like honestly, I haven't been listening to a whole lot of music, so I'm quite blank in terms of what's happening in the music industry right now, who's hot and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm not really sure about that. That's something I haven't like looked into.
Oh, no, that's fine.
Producer was also on the show. Like he's a DJ at the Matric event.
Oh, my producer, yeah. Yeah.
Oh yes.
Why hasn't anyone saying anything about that?
Bro, my producer's like the DJ right now, and no one has said anything.
Yeah.
So okay, what was your guys' favorite scene of season 2? We'll start with Amma because she's like in the corner of my screen.
I think shooting was definitely shooting at Lavender Hill. Dillon and I really enjoyed that experience. I think because it just felt so warm, and just to see the excitement of everyone, like we literally had a little audience, not a little, like a big audience, like watching us shoot there the entire day. So I think shooting there was really, really like, I enjoyed that a lot.
And you, Dillon?
Yeah, no, definitely. I was going to say Lavender Hill as well. I think the location in a whole was one of my favorites because while we were shooting, we were quarantined together just for precautions, especially during the pandemic, to stay safe, and we were bubbled. So I wasn't at home quite often. So going to Lavender Hill, I'm from Bella. So going to Lavender Hill, it reminded me a lot of home, how the community is all together and everybody partakes in either viewing something that's happening there or wanting to be a part of it. Just surrounding whoever has entered their community. That for me was lovely. It felt like I was back home as soon as we entered the set that they had made up in Lavender Hill. Yeah, definitely one of my favorite moments.
And you, Thabang, what is your favorite?
My favorite would be shooting KB's house, you know. It reminds me a lot of you know, what I want for myself in life and where I'm headed, you know. So I just sort of like use that as a way to visualize my future life type of thing, you know, because the you know the scenery there, you know, is just beautiful, and the houses there, and it all just represents you know, my version of okay, a partial version of what I view success as, you know, not entirely, just like a small part, but yeah, it just basically represents some of the things that I want for myself in the future, and I just love being around that, and I just imagine it being mine, you know. So yeah, KB's houses is definitely my favorite part of, you know, shooting.
This is a very recognizable. Like I was thinking of what I remembered the most from season 1, and it's that place. And it's like the minute I saw it, I was like back in. Like there exactly. We go.
Yeah. So I mean, you understand why I'm saying what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah. So okay, season 1 was obviously very successful. You guys had some. Your SAFTA wins. You it was trending all the time on Twitter. So like. When did you know that, you know, the show is a hit and your lives have changed?
I think for me personally, it was the day that it came out. I think I got like 50,000 followers in like that day alone.
Sure.
I literally could not like access my Instagram, and just seeing also the interactions. So I think before, my DMs were like really not that busy, you know. But as soon as the show like came out, like, oh my goodness, I got 1,000 messages from people all around the world of like all walks of life. like, oh my gosh, I'm from Brazil. We really love the show here. I'm from Germany. And I'm like, what? Like these people are actually, because I think, Netflix, we know that it's like airing at 265 countries.
No, 195.
195. Yo, I'm giving us more. But
manifestation.
It wasn't me.
There isn't even 265 countries in the world.
Yeah, I'm saying someone clearly read the media, and it wasn't me. But yeah, I think you hear that and you see that, but to actually see those people interact with you, it was really dope. So I think for me, that's when it sunk in that, okay, like we did something that people really relate to and are gravitating towards.
Yeah, I think for me, it could have definitely also have been on the day. I made a point of switching off my socials on the day because of how nervous I was. The family watched it and we were like, okay. And then I think I got a message on the group that we as the cast and the Netflix PR team has. And they were like, Dillon, you trending on Twitter. I was like, oh, snap. From what I've heard, because I'm not on Twitter, from what I've heard, it's bad when you trend on Twitter. And then when I went to Twitter, I then saw it was all good things said about Wade. And I was grateful to God, grateful to everybody that loved Wade as much as they did. And then as much as they loved the show. And then going on Instagram, like Amma said, the amount of DMs you receive in a day from around the world, it's mind-blowing. It's overwhelming. I'm grateful. And it was all on that day that everything was just like rushed on me personally. Because I took that gap where I had no connection with the world outside of home. As soon as I switched it on, everything just came boom shakalaka, and I was like, oh snap. I'm just Mexican and Portuguese and Brazilian. I'm like, oh, what is happening?
Yeah, just to add on to Amma and Dillon there. It's like that, okay, this is gonna be airing in 190 countries, but once you see how well the people respond to it, is just like mind-blowing. It confirms actually how big that is. So yeah, seeing all those messages and the audience responding to it like that from all over the world was just like mind-blowing. It's just like, hey, people know me in Brazil. Damn, okay. People know me in France. It's that for me. That's just like, yeah, mind-blowing.
So okay, another question for all of you, but like, what is your process when you getting into character? Final question.
For me personally, I do like a character Bible, and that's just to map out my character's journey throughout the entire story, because we never shoot like chronologically. We tend to skip between episodes quite a lot because of time or location or just convenience. So I find that having a character Bible keeps me on track with where I'm at the story in that moment. And when I'm about to step onto set, I just have that information in my mind. And I think this season I took an approach of just enjoying and playing more with my character, not trying to act a result, but really play with the moments that I've been given. Because I think a lot of times as an actor, you can prepare and over-prepare actually, because you're so stuck with what you want and how you want the scene to go, that you're not allowing it to flow and like really work for the purpose of the scene. So I think this season I definitely like learned that. And I'll say that's my process.
I think for me as well, I don't have like a set process that I do. But everything I try to be as flexible as I possibly can. So I would adjust to the way the director needs to move me. So I would learn the story instead of learning the lines, if that makes sense. So that I'm able to flow with wherever they want to take the story. And I do arrive with my idea of Wade and my idea of how Wade would do it, because of how myself and Wade is very like stepping into his shoes. So like I'm still wearing the exact same shoes. So knowing what he would do and knowing how he would act came very easily to me. And so I just had to make sure that I'm flexible to be able to move by the directors, whichever route that they want to go and whichever route that they want to take with the scene, with the story. And then also very similar to Amma, I have like the set out a map. I call it a map. They call it like a character bible. I call it a map, just to keep track of where I came from with this relationship, with this interaction with the character. Because like she said, nothing gets a lot of the time shot in chronological order. Sometimes go back forward, and then you're doing a scene, but you didn't do the scene before that and made you angry at this character. You're like, so the map definitely helps in that sense to just keep track. But for me, just being flexible is what I try to be.
Yeah, so very similar process to Amma and Dillon there. I have a character bible myself, and I have, you know, my arc, my character's arc, and I was saying in the previous interview that there's a file that my cast members make fun of me with. I always carry it around, like onto set, wherever. Like there's always a file, just to, like, you know, keep track of where my character was before the scene I'm about to shoot now, you know, mentally and emotionally, and just to, like, you know, keep that in mind, because it needs to, you know, sync and make sense. You know, you can't, let's say maybe my previous scene ended with my character being sad and sobby, and now in the following scene is happy. That wouldn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? So you need to, like, maintain that line of, you know, arc, basically. So yeah, that's how I
Thank you guys so much. I'm so excited for everyone to see season 2.
Haven't seen it?
No, I've seen it, but I'm so excited for everyone else to see it. But,
right.
And for you guys to attend again. Yeah, good luck for the rest of your day.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, Karen. Bye.
So, okay, a question for all of you, but we will start with Leroy because you're in the first corner. What is your favorite scene of season 2?
I think the scene at the beach where Sam is teaching Vicky how to surf. I think what I like about it is just my experience filming it. You know, it was really fun. It was just really fun and raw. There were literally no directions on what to do. We just had fun, and it was fun watching Khosi try to surf.
And Khosi, for you?
I guess I would say that was my favorite scene as well. As chaotic as it kind of was and freezing. But it was really fun because I've always wanted to learn how to surf, and I got to do that. So, yeah.
And Cindy, what is your favorite scene?
I really don't have a favorite scene. For me, every scene was an experience, really. So I can't really pick as to which one exactly was like my highlight.
Okay. So Leroy, you're the new kid on the block this season. What is it like joining the cast that, you know, they already had their season 1 bonds?
Exciting, but I also felt like the new kid in real life because, yeah, like you said, you know, the cast had been together for season 1 and they had already created a bond, but it was also quite seamless, you know, and I think the other cast members can speak for themselves, but I think, you know, I fit in quite well and they made me feel welcomed, and yeah, we managed to form some really good friendships.
Okay. So Khosi, how would you describe Fix's journey in season 2?
Sure. She's obviously going through a lot. Granted, everything that's happened like prior to season 2, not just with the whole identity situation, but even before that, you know, there's the whole thing happening at school. So yeah, she's battling, and I think she's just trying to find a way to navigate all of this, and like how do I say it? Like her own way, in a way. You know, she's trying to deal with it the way that she believes is best for her, instead of like just letting things keep happening to her, you know, just passively, you know. So yeah, she's learning. She's also becoming more aware of herself. She's sort of she's aware of like how oblivious she's been, basically, to just how she affects the world around her and everything. So that's good. Lots of growth.
And Cindy, like Zama's sense of style is like A class. Like, have you noticed your personal style changing to be more like the character, or is it like the other way around?
No, never. No, no. um, Zama's style is quite overwhelming for Cindy. Yeah, it's very interesting. It's very interesting, but that's definitely Zama and nothing close to Cindy when it comes to that.
So, Leroy and Khosi, how would you like to see Fix and Sam's relationship progress?
So, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but I guess I would like to see them stay together and just get like for their relationship to get deeper and deeper, and for them to get to know each other a lot more and to be a lot more involved in each other's lives. And I think Sam was definitely kind of, a light amidst all of, the chaos for Fikile. And so I would like to see that he remains that light for her,
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I just hope she can have something good and just let it stay good. And so I hope she can have that with Sam, regardless of what happens in the future. Regardless of what happens, like they should just stay together and be there for each other. And just being there for each other.
I agree. So, one for all of you. Which one of the cast members do you guys think is most like the character that they play?
I would say it's between myself and Dillon. And maybe Thabang as well.
The guys.
Yeah. Well, that's what I think. What do you guys think?
I think definitely you and Sam. Leroy and Sam are quite similar in some ways.
I agree. Yeah. Leroy and Sam.
So season 1 was so successful with like the summer wins and constantly trending on Twitter. When did you know that the show is like a hit and like your lives have changed?
Cindy?
I don't know. I mean, I still can't say that. I don't know. I can't confidently say that, listen, Blood and Water season 1 is a hit. Myself, I love hearing it from other people. But I think the more I hear it, the more I start to believe it. And also just, getting messages from people all around the world was beautiful and something I never expected. That's also another part for me that was very eye-opening. But yeah, I can't confidently say I should start learning to say that.
You should.
A hit. But I think the more people tell me, the more I start believing it.
Yeah, and Khosi, you?
I wouldn't say my life has like changed drastically, but I think I realized how much of an impact it made when, like Cindy said, when people from all over the world are like messaging you like, oh my gosh, you like inspired me. And it's like, whoa, it's a big deal, and for me personally, like just growing up, and that's just been my one wish. Like, I just want to inspire people. It's literally my bio on Instagram. Anyway, so that's when I knew.
Leroy, were you a fan of season 1?
Yeah, absolutely. I loved season 1. Season 1 was really great. And I think it was a bit overwhelming to come onto this show, being a huge fan of it. But I was also really grateful for the opportunity, and I absolutely love the show.
And which member of the cast you guys think is more likely, would be the best at solving a mystery?
Dillon.
In real life?
Yeah, in real life.
Oh, definitely me.
You?
I'm kidding.
I don't know.
I think Dillon, definitely.
Dillon?
Yeah. Dillon is very good.
Yeah, Dillon.
Like, he's very good at like games and, solving mysteries and stuff. And,
Yes.
and he likes that kind of stuff a lot. Yeah.
I guess so, yeah. Dillon.
Okay, so my final question is, which character were you most like when you were at high school?
For me, I would say Buleng. But in season 1, I feel like in season 2, she's like spicy. But definitely, like, I was really quiet and a bit socially awkward, and yeah, wallflower vibes.
And Leroy and Cindy?
I'd say Buleng, but she's also friends with Zama, and I wouldn't be friends with someone like Zama. So it's a bit tricky between Buleng and Tahira. Yeah, between a bit of both there.
Good girls.
I would say between between KB and Sam. I would say right in between there.
Okay, thank you guys so much. This was lovely. So excited for everyone to see season 2. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
That was our interviews with the cast of Blood and Water season 2. Blood and Water is now available to watch on Netflix. So Leanne, what have you been crushing on over the last 2 weeks?
I honestly don't know where the time went. I feel like I haven't watched a lot. So we've been rewatching a lot of 90s movies. A Cinderella Story with Hilary Duff and Chad Michael Murray. Legally Blonde 1 and 2. The Scooby-Doo movie. Don't ask. I don't know how we ended up there, but then somehow that ended up being something we watched. So yeah, a lot of 90s stuff, and like honestly, they don't do it like that anymore. I love it so much. It's so great. And then from a podcast perspective, I found the limited series called Articles of Interest, which is a really interesting podcast on clothing. But each episode, they take an item of clothing or an aspect of clothing, and they delve deep, which is so interesting and so well produced. And yeah, I'm really, really enjoying that at the moment.
Yeah.
What about you?
So I've been watching a lot of comfort TV, but I finally finished after like a year Schitt's Creek. So I watched the finale over the last week, and I was crying. I was sobbing on my bed. It was so beautiful. I do want to watch the documentary thing afterwards, like with the cast.
Yeah, it's really good.
But yeah, it was such a lovely like farewell to the show, and it was so beautifully done. I've also been watching one of my favorite comedians, Norm Macdonald, passed away recently, and I've been watching clips of his like interviews with him over the years, and he's so funny and he's so dry that like, oh my gosh, like it's that my entire YouTube recommendations is Norm Macdonald clips from like his years at Saturday Night Live, his appearance in late night shows, his interviews with like Seinfeld and Letterman and Conan. Brilliant. Yeah, so that's been my week. But yeah, that's us for this week. Join us in 2 weeks' time for our next episode. Thank you guys for listening.
The show is produced by me, Karen, and Rebecca Barches. The show is edited and engineered by Rebecca Barches. Our admin is done by Leanne Phillipson. Our logo was designed by Nathifa Maroof. And the show was created in partnership with IGN Africa. If you like the show, tell everyone that you can, any way that you can. Keep up to date with our episodes by subscribing to the show on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. And please rate and review the episodes on Apple Podcasts, as it helps others find the show. We'll be back in 2 weeks with another in-depth conversation with a pop culture lover. See you then.